guys, what's up? It's Josh. So for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I wanted to talk about a couple different signs and some ways you can tell if you're more attractive than you think you actually are. I think that each and every one of us, every time we look in the mirror, we have this like perception of ourselves and we view ourselves a lot differently than I think a lot of people actually think and like see us as who we are. I think a lot of people are attracted to little things that maybe we don't really think about all the time. And when it comes down to seeing somebody and actually feeling attracted to them, a lot of the time we don't view ourselves in the same way, and we might hate something about ourselves, but somebody else loves it. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, become part of our family, turn the little notification bell on. Also, if you have any questions or if you want to ask anything down in the comments, feel free to do that and we will try to go through and answer all the questions that are there. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Here's a couple signs in order to tell that you are very attractive and people think that. All right, so the first one that I want to talk to you guys about is compliments. I think that there's two different ways to look at compliments. If somebody is always giving you compliments, they always like what you're wearing, they always tell you that you're beautiful, those are like the people that they're just getting what's in their mind out and they're just telling you. But I think that there's also people out there that when they think somebody's really pretty or they really like what somebody's doing or they think somebody has amazing features and they think those compliments in their head, I think a lot of the time people, they keep it inside and they don't say anything because they either are embarrassed or they're nervous to say it. There's a couple of different things that I think go through people's heads when they want to give a compliment but they don't. So I think that like one way in order to tell that you are more attractive than what you think you are is when you're hanging out with people and they give you those compliments every once in a while, but they don't like bombard you with compliments all the time. So moving on to the next one, which this one you guys will be able to see right away if like you notice that people are doing this all the time. There's probably a good chance that like people think you're attractive. And that's when if you're walking down the street or you're walking through the mall and you notice that every time you walk past somebody and they're like doing a double take where they literally think you're attractive and so they have to look at you twice. I feel like there's a few very obvious ways in order to tell that you're attractive and this is one of them. And so if you see somebody glance at you and look at you and have to do a double take, then that definitely means something. And I think that it can tell you that somebody thinks you're attractive, even if maybe you think you're looking your worst or whatever. All right, so the next one I think is really interesting because there are two types of people out there that I think you're gonna run into in your life. And it's those people that like when something good happens to you in life, they're gonna be the people that are there with you, they're gonna celebrate, they're gonna be super pumped for you. And then you're gonna have the people that like when something good happens to you, even though you might see them as friends, they might be the people that kind of either talk down about it or they're not really pumped for you. There's people that really want to be there for you when something good happens. And then there's people that don't want to be there for you. And I think that that's the same with being able to tell if you're attractive or not in somebody else's eyes. So why I'm saying this is because if you are attractive, I think that there are some people that will walk up to you and be super friendly. And then you might have somebody that walks up to you that doesn't know you and is super mean. So I think that both of those ways can actually show you that you are very attractive. I think that some of you guys might be so attractive that there are people that will come up to you and be mean to you just because they're jealous how pretty they think you are. So if they're really mean to you all the time, maybe that's a sign that they're jealous. And if they're really nice to you, then that's kind of like an automatic sign that somebody is into you. So those are two really good ways. All right, so the next one is when people are surprised that you're insecure about certain ways that you look at yourself. I think that when people say like, oh, like I'm fat or I'm too skinny or I hate the way my arms look or I hate the way my face looks, like whenever you're insecure about something, if you're hanging out with somebody and they're like freaking out and telling you like, no, like why would you ever worry about that? Like you're the most perfect person. They'll say things that will basically like confirm that they think you're beautiful. And I think that if that happens a lot, like you're hanging out with a bunch of people and every time you say something that you're insecure about, they're like freaking out and they're telling you not to worry about it. Those are the people that think that you're attractive. Like people will constantly give you that affirmation if they think that you're crazy. So I just think that's another one. And I mean, if you are insecure about certain things, I feel like we all are. And I also don't think that like all of this comes down to just physical attraction. I think that it's like about everything. If you think that your personality kind of sucks, but then you're always talking to people and like they love who you are, that's a really good sign that like people think that your personality is attractive. So that is another one. All right, so the next way in order to tell if people think you're attractive is by when you're close to somebody, if you notice that they're not like trying to distance themselves from you, like they're not trying to get further away, they're trying to get closer, that's a really good sign that like somebody is into you. Like that's a really good way that somebody wants to tell you that they think you're attractive. And I feel like when you think somebody's not attractive, it's not that you like don't get close to them, but I think that it's like when you do find somebody attractive, you try to find ways to be near them. And I think that if somebody that you really like is standing across the room, you're gonna try to like get closer to that person and like be in that person's space so that if they're doing something and they accidentally like talk to you or they see you and you guys like make eye contact, there's a bunch of different ways why somebody will try to get closer to you. And that's a great way in order to tell, if you don't already think it already, that other people think that you're attractive. They don't run away from you, they run towards you. All right, so the last one comes down to eye contact. I think that whenever somebody thinks you're attractive, whenever you're around somebody and you notice that they're always staring at you, looking at you, you feel like if you were to look at them, they would already be looking at you. Like all these scenarios, if you notice that this happens, those are automatic signs that somebody thinks you're attractive. I think that guys can be really like obvious with this sign, because if we think somebody's attractive, one thing that we do is we're always gonna be looking at you. Like if you look up and you already can like scan the room and see somebody staring at you, there's a good chance that whoever that person is probably has a crush on you. And I think that for strangers, you'll notice that like even just walking past people wherever you are, there's gonna be people that hold their eye contact for a little bit longer than they should. And those are the people that are trying to get across a message that they're trying to communicate to you with their eyes. So if you notice that they're like holding the eye contact, they're always like, they're staring at you, you just feel like every time you look up, you know that they're gonna be looking at you. That's another good way in order to tell that somebody thinks that you're attractive and they're into you. And I don't know what kind of feelings they have for you, but I think that deep down it just shows that there's a reason why people do that. And I think that reason is because they're either really into you or they just think that you're the most attractive thing in the world. So there's a couple different reasons why, but I think facial expressions and like eye contact is always gonna be a huge thing. So yeah, that's another sign in order to tell that you are more attractive than you think. And if you're ever looking for that like little confidence boost, just look at all the people that are staring at you or looking at you. I think that it tells a lot, and it just shows that people are like interested in what they see. So I wanted to do this video because I thought it would be interesting, and there's a lot of you guys that leave me questions where sometimes I think, you know, some of you guys need to be told that you guys are beautiful. And I think that there's a lot of different ways like to just tell by other people looking at you and doing things in order to tell that like you are a beautiful person. So if you needed to be told that, that's the reason I made this video. And I just think that a lot of you guys, you guys are a little bit too hard on yourselves, especially by the messages that I see coming through on Instagram and in the comments of videos. You guys just need to take things with like a grain of salt and realize that there's not always an answer to everything. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to see like how somebody is gonna react in a couple months, or maybe you guys just don't know each other long enough to be able to answer some of the questions that you have. So if you do have any questions, if you guys do want me to make videos on anything else that's related to relationships or anything that you guys are going through, leave those down in the comments or send them to me on Instagram. I go through my DMs all the time. I've said this in every single video. You guys are constantly sending me Instagram DMs about questions that you have, and I love it because I can just sit in bed or wake up in the morning and get on my phone and start answering them. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go and do that. Also, if this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, hit the subscribe button, turn the little bell notification on so that you get notified every time I upload a video. But with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that I answered some of your guys' questions or just made at least one of you guys feel a little bit better about yourself, because I think that all of you guys are amazing. I think that all of you guys are beautiful, and maybe you just needed to hear that today. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Saturday in next week's video. Bye!